On everybody? Today we got another very special guest from the original Karate Kid as well as Cobra Kai, Ron Thomas, aka Bobby Brown, our favorite priest. How are you doing today?
Not a priest, Levi. Don't make me jump through that screen and sweep your leg, man.
Sucks you're not allowed to get laid anymore, man. How many times I gotta tell you, I'm not a priest.
Yeah. So when you auditioned for the Karate Kid, you didn't tell them you were a black belt, right?
Yeah, that was by instructions from my agent. That they said, you have this audition for this movie called The Karate Kid, and but don't tell them you're a black belt. Just go in and talk about your acting. If they ask you about it, tell them. But they're really looking for good actors, and then they're going to train you anyway with this guy named Pat Johnson from Enter the Dragon and all these other movies that he did, working with Chuck Norris. And so I just focused on my acting initially.
Yeah. So speaking on Pat Johnson, I was watching some of the rehearsal footage. He just said strike first, strike hard. Do you remember when they added No Mercy on?
No, I'm sure it was. If Pat Johnson was doing it, it was just for rehearsal purposes because maybe Marty Cobb wasn't there that day or something. So Pat Johnson stepping in and playing the part of Marty Cobb, so he maybe missed the line. I'm pretty sure it was scripted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and look at the original script, but nobody's ever asked me that question. I'm sure it was scripted though.
Yeah, so before we get into Cobra Kai, your first return to Bobby was the Sweep the Leg music video. So what was it like, getting to be a part of that?
Um, was it Sweep the Leg or it could have been Tosh.0?
Yeah.
I don't know which one came first. I think maybe Tosh.0 came first, but that was just a comedy spoof for this guy
Yeah.
who failed to break the board over his head. But yeah, getting together for the music video, I just got a call from Billy. Billy and I are friends, and say, hey, this band wrote this song called "Sweep the Leg."
Yeah.
I'm going to direct the video and want you in it. So yeah, of course, it's always fun, no matter what we're doing, whether we're off camera or on camera, to hang out with the guys. We've been friends for all this time, so it's a lifelong friendship.
Yeah, so speaking on the bar scene fight, what was it like, getting to, I mean, you're an experienced black belt, but what was it like getting to have your first fight scene, back as, in your character?
Again, it's always fun, and it's an added bonus. It's kind of like icing on the cake for me. I love the craft of acting and just being in front of the camera, and especially with this crew, Like I said, we've been friends, and there's just a magic and a chemistry that's never really gone away. If you add martial arts and the opportunity to rehearse a fight scene and do a fight scene with some stunt guys and just get in there and mix it up, it's just icing on the cake. I love that stuff, I've been doing that stuff all my life as well. So it's, what can I say? It's a dream job, really. It's fun. It's so much fun.
Yeah, so if Daniel would have beaten Bobby, which I don't think would have happened, how do you think the third place match between you and Vidal would have went?
Well, listen, here's the thing. The fans of the Karate Kid, which are the best fans in the universe, they like to speculate and make stuff up.
Yeah.
And they get the characters mixed up with the actors, right? So it's like, would Ron Thomas beat Ralph Macchio?
Absolutely.
Hands freaking down, Would Bobby beat Ralph Macchio, or would Bobby beat Daniel? If it's in the script.
Yeah.
So you got to follow what's scripted and how the storyline goes. Do I think Bobby had an awesome chance and would have won? Of course I do. I got to defend my character, Bobby. I think Bobby would have won the whole thing. But then, that kind of crosses the border of me getting into my own martial arts experience. So yeah, Bobby had the heart, he had integrity, and he let his actions speak louder than his words. He was calm, he remained calm. And if you study martial arts at all, the guy who is calm and centered and focused and poised is going to come out usually better than the guy who's lost his mind, through anger or you know, rage or whatever. So you see a lot of anger, you see a lot of rage, you see a lot of out of controlness in the Karate Kid, whereas Bobby remained calm and was just focused on winning and had to throw the tournament because of Kreese.
Yeah, so what was life for you like, when Karate Kid first came out, walking in the streets, stuff like that?
Well, okay, so we all of us, all the Cobras, and John Avildsen, the director, and a couple other people, we went down to Westwood in Los Angeles for the premiere. And nobody knew the Karate Kid, but the buzz had been out, how good of a movie it was, and we were down in LA for the LA opening, and I'm sitting next to John Avildsen, and which was cool enough in itself because he won the Academy Award for Rocky.
Yeah.
So sitting next to the director of Rocky, and we're watching the movie, and the crowd is responding exactly like he wanted it to, and at the very end when Daniel does the front snap kick to Johnny's face, the crowd cheers, and a few guys down the very front row jump up on their seats and they throw their hands up like this. And we're sitting way in the back for a quick exit. And you could see the silhouette of his hands, on the screen. And John Avildsen leans over to me and he says, "We got a hit."
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, that's freaking cool. So then when the movie's over, we tried to escape out the back, and people saw us, and literally outside that theater, I remember, there they are, and people just kind of mobbed us and wanted autographs, and that was a kind of a surreal experience. So, and then there was a few other times where that just happened, just walking down the street. I can remember walking down the street again in Westwood, and I was on a date with this girl, and just casually, just me and her walking down the street, and this car full of girls pulls up and says, there he is. They jumped out of the car, and I had to sign autographs, and the business owners came out, and they're looking at it. It's like, it was kind of a surreal experience, but totally awesome, totally fun.
Yes. I can't remember if it was December or January when it was. What was it like, getting to be a part of the big Karate Kid Reunited Apart reunion?
Yeah, again, fun. I hadn't really communicated with Elizabeth Shue through the years, and so it was a really cool idea, really fun to get together and hash some of the stories. There was so much of us from Karate Kid 1, 2, and 3 that were sharing stories and talking, and I mean, I don't know. We must have spent 2 hours recording it, and I don't know what the final cut was, but a lot of stuff got edited out because there was just so much, but totally fun.
Yeah, I mean, I know I don't know what you can't talk anything about season 4, but what do you think about Terry Silver coming back?
I don't know, because I honestly don't know the storyline. I haven't seen the scripts. I kind of expected it. I think the fans want it. The fans love those characters all the way through Karate Kid 3. I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. I'm sure these creators are really, really smart, and they want to give fans what they want. So if fans want to see the return of those characters that were in the later sequels, then I'm sure they're going to figure out a way to make it make sense for everybody. And I'm sure that's what they're doing. So I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, speaking of sequels, you actually saw Yuji on set though for season 3, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Yuji was. I was there filming my church stuff with taking down Mr. Zepka. In the church, which was a great scene. A lot of stuff got cut out of that. We had a lot of dialogue that got edited, and it's too bad. But anyway, I was there filming, and we broke for lunch, and I hear the voice on the side of the church, "Hey, Ron!" And I look over, and there's Yuji. He was there rehearsing, going through his fight stuff and everything. So he didn't film there, obviously, but he was there rehearsing. So, yep.
Yeah, so you actually Yeah, you actually did that sweep, right, in the church?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's nothing for me.
Yeah.
It's you know, Billy. I think Billy's used to working with stunt guys and guys who are not necessarily that proficient in martial arts. I've been doing it all my life. I was a world champion, and so I can do stuff blindfolded. And Billy was a little bit surprised as we were rehearsing it, just having stopped and not sweeping the leg, but just stopping at his leg every single time without adjusting my body or anything. I hit the back of his leg right where I needed to with my leg. And Billy afterwards said, man, you didn't have to adjust your body. You didn't have to adjust your distance or anything. You were just there every time. I said, yeah, Billy, that's what I do. And he's like, yeah, he's like, I know, but man, it was so cool. Because some of these stunt guys they're stunt guys. They're not necessarily martial artists. Some of them are. And some of them are, not that precise and accurate in their movements. And, go back to the bar scene and in season 2, I had to stop in the middle of a fight because one of the stunt guys, he really wasn't used to working. He was swinging a pool stick at me.
Yeah.
Which, for me is equal to a bow staff.
Right.
And he was supposed to swing it one direction at my head, and he swung it the other way. And I just stopped. I just backed up because obviously his head wasn't in it. It's that kind of thing when you're not working with somebody who's used to martial arts movements and weapons. It could get pretty hairy and dangerous. I actually got hurt in that scene a little bit from this, that same stunt guy pushing me back against the wall. He tripped and fell and then took me down with him. But then on my way down, I hit my hip on a table. Had a pretty gnarly bruise, this big on my hip.
Dang, yeah.
But it's part of the gig.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you ever find it comedic trying to look at like some of these people that aren't martial artists, just trying to like, is this even real, like the Karate Kid and stuff?
You mean like what? Well, see, I see it through a different set of eyes. I've been doing this stuff since I was in my teens.
Yeah.
And I've been around the world and I've seen some of the best martial artists, trained with some of the best. So I see it through a different set of eyes, and I'm seeing movement. In other words, let me put it this way: black belts move their bodies a certain way that white belts don't. White belts don't move the same as a black belt, and they shouldn't. They're white belts. So I see movement and stuff that just sometimes just doesn't make sense at all on camera, but to the untrained eye, it's probably fine. They're not really missing anything.
Yeah.
To the trained eye, I'm like, that should have been corrected. Yeah.
Yes. So speaking on the Karate Kid, have you ever been able to find the footage of you smacking your belt at Kreese?
Me throwing my belt at his feet?
Yeah, like after you get DQ'd or whatever.
Yeah. I walk across the floor. I haven't found the original footage that we shot, but I know that the rehearsal footage is, on YouTube. You can see us rehearsing that. Scene, and I throw it down in anger. When we shot it, I didn't throw it down in anger. I just sort of dropped it with tears in my eyes and kind of left. But yeah.
Yeah, so I saw that picture of Pat Morita at your dojo. What was it like him getting to come to your dojo?
It just speaks to who Pat was. I ran into him up at Universal Studios, and he said, "Hey, Ron, what are you doing?" And I said, "I have a dojo now." And in fact, tomorrow night we're doing a promotion for the kids. I'm doing a big demonstration, and you want to come over and visit and say hi to all my students and everything. And so he said, yeah. So I had all the kids lined up, and I had my black belts, keeping everything in order while Sensei was gone, picking up Pat Marie across the valley. And all the students are like, where is Sensei? This thing's supposed to start, and then they're all lined up and they're all ready for the promotion and everything. And then I walk in with Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah.
Yeah, jaws dropped. So cool. But that's who Pat was, he's very generous and awesome. Uncle Pat. He was an awesome guy.
So yeah, speaking on Bobby, do you think he's kept up with his training? Because it's unknown right now.
Well, it wasn't necessarily scripted that way. When we came back, uh, I would prefer that he would kept up with his training. I would prefer that he had a not-for-profit dojo with his church, teaching inner city kids and kids who can't afford training for free, funded through his church. I would love to see that storyline.
Yeah.
That's just me. But when we shot it, there was a scene that didn't get put in the in episode 6 of season 2, and that's with me and Tony Odell, Bobby and Jimmy. They're standing by the fire while Johnny and Tommy are sitting by the fire having that scene. There's a scene with Bobby and Jimmy that didn't get used, and and Jimmy has a line something like, "Man, I never felt like such of a man when I busted that stool over that guy's back," or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I said, and I'm drinking a beer, Pastor Bobby. I love that about Pastor Bobby. He can drink a beer and get in a bar fight. He's still a pastor. But I say, Bobby says, yeah, I didn't know I could still get my leg up that high.
Yeah, yeah.
So that infers that he really hasn't kept up with his training, or he just, hasn't kept up with it the way he should. But
yeah.
I don't know.
I wish they would have kept that scene about even God doesn't like this car. I wish they would have kept that.
I love that line. I love that whole scene. It's so much fun with the banter and the joking with Jimmy. And and Jimmy says to Bobby, "Hey man, help me out here." And Bobby says, "Jimmy, even God doesn't like this car." It's a great line.
This is the safest car in its class.
You said you had a pussy wagon, not a wagon for pussies.
All right, back me up. Isn't it a sin to make fun of another man's ride?
Jimmy, even God doesn't like this car.
Yeah, so for you with the Karate Kid, what was your favorite personal scene that I guess was kept in the movie?
For Bobby?
Yeah, or for you, I mean, for you as a fan, either way.
For me as a fan, my favorite scene in the whole movie as a fan is between Ralph and Mr. Miyagi, when Ralph says, I'm out of here, and Mr. Miyagi says, "Daniel-san, come here." And he says, "Show me sand the floor. Show me wax on, wax off. Show me, paint the fence." And then he punches it, and then he attacks him, and then in that scene, Daniel realizes how much karate he's actually been learning by doing all the housework for Mr. Miyagi. It's so brilliantly done. That's my favorite scene in the movie. But I don't know. Bobby's character is unique in the movie. I think he stands out by himself as being the good bad guy. Standing up to the Cobras, even standing up to Chris. Leave him alone, man. He's had enough. That's it. Bobby was the only voice of reason amongst the bad guys. So I think the whole character and all of those scenes are. It was an honor to play them and special for me.
Yeah. So do you think with all the rehearsal y'all got to do, it kind of made it a lot easier compared to maybe like nowadays with the show with it being so fast paced?
Oh, for sure. It's always easier to do a movie than a television series, because the television series, they got to get the episodes done. You just don't have time to mess around. So it's always easier in that regard to have more preparation time doing a movie than, this episode, got to get this episode done. Here's your lines. Oh, we're going to change your lines. Here's your new lines. Oh, crap. Yeah. I only got 20 minutes to learn this new scene, So even on a movie, you're getting new lines and revisions every day. But, like I said, it's easier on a film set to do your work than it is on a TV set, or TV series is grueling work. Yeah.
I got like 2 more questions. One question's kind of probably weird. You probably never heard this, but like in the rehearsal footage, it talked about some type of demo from like a kung fu school. Did they actually film that?
Before the championship match begins, we have a demonstration this afternoon from the Fujiao Pai Kung Fu School of Chinese spear and sword fighting. Okay?
Let's hear it for him.
Whoa, let's hear it.
No.
I don't know. I don't remember that. I'm not
Yeah.
sure. I'm not sure what you're referring to.
Yeah, it's like the announcers like before the final match, which I don't. You might not have been in there after you got disqualified. I don't know, but
Well, I was. Yeah, they didn't. Well, I didn't leave. They didn't keep the scene where I dropped.
yeah,
Dropped the belt. So they wanted to keep me in as part of the group, or Bobby in as part of the group. So yeah, but as far as a demo, I'm not sure. If you go to, you talking about the line that the announcer says.
yeah,
I mean, if you go to a karate tournament, there's usually going to be demonstrations, and there's going to be the kata division and all these different divisions that they have now. Even back then, they had kata. You could compete. They had point karate, sparring. You can compete. So, I maybe to make it more realistic, but I don't remember there ever being an actual demonstration that was filmed. Yeah.
yeah. So last question, if you can remember, I know it's been a long time ago. For Karate Kid 2, was Chad McQueen actually there? Because a lot of people say it wasn't him or it was him.
There's a lot of speculation. Probably a question I can't answer.
Yeah, yeah. I just want to.
I'll just leave the fans continuing to speculate about it. I mean, even today, there's a lot of speculation about Chad McQueen, right? Like,
Yeah.
Where is he? Why isn't he in Cobra Kai? What's going on? We want to see Dutch.
Yeah, he came out and said he ain't ever coming back. So.
Yeah. And again, fans will speculate, and they'll want to, and they want to know why. And they, on one hand, I think the fans probably deserve an answer, but it's not for me to give it. I know the reasons.
Yeah.
I know the stories behind all of this stuff, but it's not for me to spill the beans on some of it.
Yeah, which I think if he's retired from acting, people should respect that at the same time.
Sure. Yeah, they should respect it for sure. But he's got personal reasons,
Yeah.
So, and I'll just leave that to Chad to talk about him or not.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I just want to thank you for coming on again. We hope to see you in the next season, but thanks again.
Yeah, you're welcome, Levi. Thank you for having me.